In this video, I'm going to reveal to you the brutal truth about growing on Instagram, and I'll reveal the secret two-step formula to exploding your results on the platform. And this is actually a theory that I've seen no one else talk about on YouTube because it actually comes from the business world, but it relates to Instagram too. It's crucial, and I think you need to understand it. Now, I first heard this when I was on the other side of the world at a conference in Nashville listening to Ryan Holiday speak. And the one key thing that he said that stuck with me was this: if you want to build a successful brand, you have to either be first or be best. And those are your only two options if you want to really make it and become established in the industry. Think about it. All the big companies that we know did it by being either first or being the best. Now, Blockbuster became huge because they were one of the first companies putting out movies to the mainstream people. Netflix became huge because they were the best at doing it. They weren't the first people to sell movies or sell a subscription service for you to be able to watch movies from the comfort of your home, but they did it in a way that was considerably better than anyone else out there, and therefore they took over and built a huge company. They went into a quote-unquote saturated niche and absolutely dominated by being the best. And Instagram growth is no different. You can grow in literally any niche you want at any stage, and no niche is too saturated ever and never will be if you follow this simple rule: either be first or be best. And so if you're going into a saturated niche, you're not going to be first. Obviously, there's a ton of people, hence why it's saturated. So you've got to be best. So you can still grow in any niche you want, you just have to do it better than anyone else. So if you're a fitness coach and you want to build an audience of people all around the world that are interested in health and fitness and trying to improve their lives through doing so, you're not going to be the first person doing this. There's likely millions of other people who are doing this or putting out content on that subject, but you can still build a wildly successful business. But you have to do it better. You can't just be posting the same content that people used 4 or 5 years ago that worked for them back then and just sort of regurgitating the same stuff. You have to find a way to evolve your content to make it better than anyone else. So maybe that means you add a bit of comedy to what you're doing, and you're funny, and you include your personality, which makes you stand out. Or maybe you just edit your videos amazing so they look incredible and they stand out above and beyond the crowd. Or maybe you've got some crazy new technique that is more effective than anyone else and allows you to get better results for your audience and for your clients, and so you're able to build a huge audience through that. For example, take a look at a subscriber and friend of the channel, Hebe Hiom, who I actually made a full case study here on my YouTube channel where I broke down how she went from 0 to 170,000 followers, and she started in April, I believe, of 2020. And so there was already a huge amount of competition. It was an incredibly saturated niche, but she built a massive following in about 9 months just by being better, by putting a lot of time and effort into editing her content in a different way so that it stood out and it provided a ton of value, and that helped her build a massive audience. But how do you actually make your content better? Because I know that is a term thrown around a lot by gurus of social media of all kinds. Here's a few tips. Make your content better visually. So this might mean upgrading your equipment. It might mean taking better lighting, whether that be natural light or a softbox or something along those lines to make it look better visually. Find a way to make your content more educational. Go do some more research on the topic that you're talking about. Have some stats and references and data that you can back up your claims with and make better content about. Find a way to make your content more entertaining. Maybe this means you throw more of your personality in there. You add a bit of jokes in there and you laugh around a bit and you don't take things super serious. You still get your point across, but you add a bit of personality to it. Or maybe it means you take a new approach to the way you do things. Maybe you have to go out there and hire a designer or take a design course yourself to up the quality of what you're putting out on the internet. Or maybe it means you hire an agency like my own to help you do this for you whilst you're focusing on your business. But at the end of the day, if there's already a ton of people in your niche and you want to grow and you want people to follow you, you have to give them a reason. You have to make your content stand out in some way, shape or form and be different from what everyone is already seeing. Because chances are the target followers that you're trying to go after already follow the people who are already in this niche. And so if someone wants to learn about tennis and they're already following 10 people who teach tennis, for them to then add you to their feed, you're going to have to do something to stand out and be different and be better, because otherwise why would they? They've already got 10 people who are giving them average content. They don't need an 11th. However, if you stand out and you give them great quality content, you're better at it, you give away better stuff, then of course they're going to add you to their feed. Ask yourself, is your content the absolute best it can be, and is it better than those in your niche? And if not, what can you do to improve it, to get it close to them? For example, when I started making videos on YouTube about Instagram growth, there was already a ton of people already doing this. There was Vanessa Lau, Sunny Lenarduzzi, Christian Book, Hey Dominic, Ben Levitt, Alex Tooby, Alec Wilcock, Thor, Modern Millie. There was like so many creators already out there making awesome videos in this space. So I wasn't the first person to make YouTube videos teaching people about Instagram growth. There were a ton of big creators, and it was an already kind of, I guess, somewhat saturated niche. Not too bad, but a lot of people were already in there. So I had to find a way to make myself different and aim to make better videos, which I don't actually think I did at the start, especially if you watch them, but add a different spin to things. So I tried to give away more information. I tried to create new content that people hadn't seen on YouTube before. I tried to make my videos more direct to the point and engaging. You'll notice in a lot of my videos, I try avoid talking about the same thing on and on and on. I try and keep things sharp and short and fast flowing. I was talking about theme pages when other people weren't talking about theme pages. And all of these things allowed me to grow because I was doing it different and aiming to be better, although in reality, I don't think I was actually better at that time. But by trying to evolve and look at what was already out there and do something that stood out allowed me to grow. Now, the other option is if you don't want to strive to be the absolute best in a big category, because that can be hard, is you find a way to niche down so that you can be the first of a specific niche. Now, you might not be the first fitness coach on Instagram. However, you might be the first fitness coach from your small region that is putting out content on social media, and you target just that small region. So you are the only local person in the area giving away fitness tips and tricks, or whatever your niche is. And that's one way of niching down to be the first in a specific niche, even in a big overarching area such as fitness. Now, the other option is that you go really, really niche with what you're posting about and not necessarily on the location. So maybe you're putting out fitness content for men aged 55 to 65 that are looking to, I don't know, run ultra marathons or do that sort of thing, endurance sports. Maybe that is your niche because you are that person. You're a 60-year-old that does that, and you want to find other people like that. And then you niche down to the point where you're the first person in that niche putting out that content. And so even if you're not the best, if someone is interested and they stumble across that, they're going to love it. They're going to follow, engage, tell their mates about it, and you can build an audience rapidly that way by being the first. And I don't know if I've got this point across really well, but at the end of the day, hopefully from this video, you've got the idea that if you want to do really, really well on social media, either be the first person to a specific niche or niche down to the point that you are the first. Or number two, aim to be the best. Look at what's out there and see how you can do it better. See how you can improve upon what's already out there, how you can add more data, add your personality, add to it to make it better than what's out there. Because at the end of the day, if someone's already following someone that's teaching them a certain thing and you're trying to get that same audience, why would they go to your page when they're already following someone doing the same thing that they already know, like, and trust? You have to find a way to differentiate yourself by being better or being more niche to that person. I know this may sound harsh or morbid or, I don't know, demotivating that you have to strive to be amazing at something. And if you're just putting out content that you enjoy just for yourself, I totally get it. But if you're trying to build an audience, you need to understand this. I hope that helped. If you want to grab my free Instagram cheat sheet as well as a 4-part training series, I've linked that below. If you're interested in hiring my agency to help you grow on Instagram and YouTube, I've also got a link for you to apply below. That's it from me. Hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like, subscribe. See you next time.